Hello, speedrunners, testers, and otherwise Eagle Island fans. This is Conrad, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a short explanation and overview of some of the tricks that I've learned when speedrunning Eagle Island, namely when it comes to preserving momentum. I'm going to be taking this run pretty slow to showcase some of the things I'm doing, and then I'm going to attempt to string it all together to show you what a run looks like when all these tricks are being used. Eagle Island has some pretty interesting ways of dealing with some aspects of momentum that I've tried my best to reverse engineer as I've been speedrunning this game, and I want to pass these tricks on to you with the hopes that it will help you when you're putting down your own runs. So, first room for this week's run. I'm gonna go ahead and clear these enemies. We're gonna make this room easy to work in without having to deal with any of these distractions. So, when you're jumping off of a cliff, you have a very brief window where you can jump while still floating, kind of like a flap that Quill gets. So if you're trying to maximize distance on a jump, then the best thing to do is wait as long as you can before pressing the trigger. You have a pretty short window, but with a little bit of practice on the timing, you'll start to notice the moment where you're able to get that jump. I'll try to demonstrate. So I landed a little bit right about here, and with this momentum trick, I can land nearly here. So that is a pretty significant change in distance that I cover. Next momentum trick, when you land, one thing that you'll want to do is not bump up against that left wall right there. If you do, you lose the momentum you've gained up to this point, and you have to start it over from the beginning when you're running into the next room, and that will cost you anywhere from 100 to 300 milliseconds depending on your execution. So jump, and then notice how I tap to the right to kind of stop my momentum, slow myself a little bit, but then I land, just barely graze that corner, and then land about down here with quite a bit of my momentum preserved, and that saves me a pretty good amount of time. So as we can see, up, hold right, and then I did hit it there, but if you work on the execution a little bit, say I'll wait until about there, kind of when you line up with this little groove right here before you start pressing against the wall again, and you will preserve quite a bit of momentum. Just gonna open the chest because, as you can see, I've got time, and you'll notice that by staying on this side, I got most of the moles to spawn right about here, which was really good. I'm actually gonna carry this from the beginning so you can kind of see how this all looks. Whoop. That would normally be a reset, obviously. And there we go, and I kind of smoothly transition into this. Now for this next section, I'm gonna bonk my head. I'm gonna let these flak tie do their thing and shoot them down. For this next section, if you simply fall, you'll land right on the flactus. And if you wait to jump, then you won't gain enough distance to hit that, and you'll fall right into, actually just, I'm gonna go ahead and experiment with this, just in case. Doesn't seem to work, but if you bump against the wall, then you'll gain enough distance. Then this climb right here, we can use this left-right trick to sacrifice a little bit of momentum short term so that we don't lose all of our momentum when we run into the wall. So I'll start from the top, jump, and jump. I've lost most of my momentum on that climb, but if I run into the wall, then I lose all of my momentum. So it's just a kind of a lesser of two evils choice that I'm making there. You might also notice that as I'm landing some of these, if I land just right, then while facing the opposite direction that I'm running, I'll lose a little bit of extra momentum. This climb is... Oh, you saw right there, I had just that brief moment where I kind of... I recovered a little bit of my momentum because I was facing the other direction. And even though I had run into this corner just a bit, I was still able to mostly preserve my momentum. Other than, you know, you gotta get all three of these jumps. You need to get that first jump, second, and third, so it does require sacrificing most of your momentum. However, you might have noticed there, one of the things that's nice about scraping just along these corners is that you will pretty much recover all of your momentum, as you saw right there, if you can hit the top corner and not the wall itself, but just that top corner. Then you'll still kind of push over like that. Jump over this guy, not even gonna bother. Time that. Oh, I guess it's good to die. I can kind of string together everything I've done so far. So, we'll start off, jump off the lip. Oh, actually, that was kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what happened there. I might have just jumped a little too late. So, lose a little bit of momentum to preserve the momentum in the long run. Get all the enemies along the side. Bop against the top. Oop. that's a reset right there. Jump right at the arc. That's kind of hard to demonstrate. I'd suggest you go back and kind of watch that in slow motion. Fall right in between these guys and then jump up. Diagonal strikes are faster. And then... Oop. I'm gonna attempt this room again. So, this guy jumps down, and what you're... Let me see if I can get that again. What's supposed to happen is the Tektite jumps down, and then you jump right in between him and the wall, and that will lead to... that will give you just enough leeway to deal with the Flactus before... or to avoid the Flactus. Ooh, almost got that momentum there. You'll be able to completely avoid the Flactus before he fires off his shots. And you'll notice I'm cutting it really close right there. Landing, immediately jumping. Short jumps. Sometimes the short jumps are a little more useful. Gotta be careful not to bop against that. Oh, that was bad. Fall off. Do another one of those nice little hang jumps. Notice how I'm using this right-left technique to lose just enough momentum that when I restart to gain that momentum, I'm doing it at just the right time to resume right as these enemies are attacking. So the enemy fires, and by that point, I've gained just enough momentum to, oh. That didn't work out so well. That's a room that gets a lot of resets. Ooh, and I even managed to get that one just right. Tektites, gotta kind of scrape, and then try to do that little left-right trick. Sacrifice just a little bit of momentum for, in the short term, to preserve yourself in the long term. Managed to get double struck right there. And that room can go wrong. That's kind of the linchpin of these sub 110 runs. If I don't get see, if I can't get past these areas with at least 1 health left, then I can't damage boost through that boar room right there. I'm not even doing the left-right trick there. I'm just not holding a direction down. Ooh. Oh, this mole room. The moles are the run killers for sure, because you can do stuff like that perfectly. Notice I preserved my momentum again on that corner. Sometimes I mash the jump key after Quill launches Koji. I don't know if that still works, but it worked throughout the demo. Oh, almost had that. If you time that really well, and then you jump right at the lip of that little cliff there, then you can completely bypass. And you can't completely bypass that. So, just gonna lay down a couple more of these. I mean, I'm on... I can't tell what run I'm on. That part's been removed. But, ooh, look at that. I've even got a little bit of time over my my ghost. Look at that. I'm ahead of my ghost now. I might lay down a better run right now. Pressure's on. So sacrifice a little bit of momentum. Didn't lose too much. I think I did that as well as I'm gonna. That Flactus gets destroyed by Mr. Tektite. I wish I remembered the actual name. Oh, and that's where I lose it. So you'll notice all of that momentum was made up for, all of that ooh. So damage boost through there, and then jump up. Ooh. Not ideal, and I'm still deciding whether it's worth it to damage boost. Ooh. So that didn't work out too well. Jump right over here. Oh, a little bit later on the jump, and then you can just run right through. And then in the last room, you jump right as you're entering the last room, and you will you'll be able to reach the ledge next to the flag. Nick says that the end rooms are a little broken. I can imagine why, because he's got to make a lot of decisions about how the generation changes, which means dealing with a lot of edge cases, I presume. I did test the lower and upper paths in that last room. Lower path is just more consistent. You want to jump, I finally got it, you want to jump at the very top of that cliff, otherwise you won't gain quite enough distance. And it seems like higher jumps activate the Flactus. Whoops. Whew. Okay, well, dead there. There is a strategy. If you can get that upper right piranha to bite upwards and then land on the center, then good start. If you can get the upper right piranha to land on the center, really good start. I've even got distance on myself. Then you can do that section without having to fire Koji, which would be optimal. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for this, but I do have enough distance. It makes you believe that a sub 118 is, or sub 108 is possible, but still got a little bit of distance. If you fire too early on that Tektite right there, then you actually get hit by the fire. So it's kind of a tough balance. There we go. Okay. Oh, I was really hoping that I could just avoid taking the damage. Dang it. Oh, that was gonna be a record. well, I'll just do a couple more of these and just kind of talk off the cuff, see if there's anything else I can remember. The momentum, I may just have that optimized. Ooh. But the mole room is very much RNG. I haven't gotten a run finished yet, so I'll at least do that. Momentum trick over the Tektites so that I have as much carrying me through that as possible, because the time loss is all in, you know, what is your speed? Oh yes, it's always very satisfying to make that and then be taken out by the pit. There's a couple of those in this run, and that's actually pretty funny to encounter. It feels very intentional when you're trying to optimize a path. Oh. Honestly, blue mole on the left. No, I can't restart. I gotta finish one at least. Show you what I can lay down, even if it's not. Oh, this isn't gonna go well. I don't have the burst that I need for the. Oh, and I went the upper path. I had to sacrifice just a little bit of momentum to do that, because if you clip the wall, then you lose all of it. That's also the trick that I use. If you clip the gate while it's opening, then you lose all your momentum, whereas if you kind of sit there and go left and right a bit, then you can go through that with as much of your momentum remaining as possible. Alright, so I'm about a maybe a half second, not half second, 1/10 of a second, quarter second behind. Oh, nice. And then I bricked it up. That upper one, really, you know, you can lose that momentum anywhere. I should probably figure out exactly where on that level I should be jumping. It's a bit of a crapshoot right now. Yeah, this looks like it's not gonna be sub 110, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, I'm not even sure it's gonna be sub 112. Oh, you can actually jump over that guy, I found. I did that in one of my PBs, but it's just better to damage boost right through him. Oh, there we go. I got maybe 50 milliseconds, and then I lose it to that blue mole. There we go. Oh, perfect. No clipping, as much momentum as possible. You can see I've got a nice, substantial lead. You can actually... Oh, yes! Oh, that's very nice. I'm actually about even. I didn't do that perfectly. Oh, almost missed that one too. And then I kind of lost all my boost there, so it's really just a matter of how I deal with that. I don't think I'm gonna get this. Let's try the piranha skip. So it's, you have to jump soon enough, or that the piranha angles up, but not too soon that you end up jumping right into him. Okay. Ooh, I didn't get hit there. I might have to investigate that further. Oh, I even made up for that time that I lost. Oh, and then I lost all that time I made up. That's just the nature of these runs. You know, I've tied quite a few. Oh, that is death. I've tied quite a few of my PBs in previous runs, and I make up time in some places and I lose time in others. Ooh, you see what I was saying there? You can get hit, but if you time it, it's almost, if you time it too well, then you get punished for it a bit. So there's a bit of a sweet zone that you have to aim for. I lost a little bit on that last jump. But there we go. Oh, being behind the ghost sometime is pretty... It can be pretty degrading, I guess, is probably the best word to use. Not degrading, demotivating. Because you're watching... Oh, see, there that was again. You're watching the best run so far, and... Oh, not sure if you saw, Koji was upside down for a little bit. Maybe that's just the sprite, because he spins when you throw him. But it can be a little bit demotivating to see the ghost and go, oh, I didn't do that right. And so you just want to reset every single time. Like, you know, I'm going to reset there just because it's more fun to be next to the ghost for something like this. But, you know, if you're trying to get a PB and you're watching the ghost soar ahead of you, like, that is not fun sometimes. Unless it's your own ghost, or you've got ghosts behind you too that you can kind of see. Actually, that might be a neat thing to have, is the ghost behind you, so you can see kind of where you are relatively. Like, this is your best run, this is the first place run, and this is the run that is just behind you. And then you get sort of a... Nice, you get sort of a view. Okay, I'm going for it. Oh, do you see that? I got it. But then that other one hit me. Like, I've just been trying to rush through that, like, damage boost through it if I can help it. But, oh. There we go. Okay. Good moles. Oh. That's even with PB. I just habitually, I am constantly mashing the jump button when I need to gain just a little bit extra distance. Oh, that's not gonna go. But when I just need that tiny bit of extra distance after getting hit or after throwing Koji, I will mash the jump button. And sometimes, you know, if there's a ledge I'm trying to grab. So yeah, getting that damage boost through the piranha is really useful. Just because it's really difficult to time in between those two to land on the ledge perfectly. I'm gonna give this a couple more attempts, some earnest tries. I would obviously like to beat my my PB, but if that doesn't happen, then I'll be happy to know that I at least restart that one. I'll be happy to know that I at least got to showcase some of the strategies and show you my process. Because there is just a lot of there's a lot of nuance. Oh no. Alright, well there's all that gone. Let's just make it up, I guess. No, that's gonna be consistently a screen ahead of me from this point on. Look at that. Flying by. Go. Oh, got it. That and the moles. Those are the real run killers. Oh. And then those two. Oh boy. Dang. I mean, had a lot of mistakes there. It really, I mean, it just depends on just flawless execution. If you can't mess anything up, oh, like that right there, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make up for that. Even with PB, I seem to be getting a little bit of distance on that 3 Tektite room. I swear I'm gonna learn the actual name of the Tektite, but they're just Tektites. Yeah, okay. Lost some time on that. I think I'm just not confident because I messed up that room so many times. Okay, full jump seems to be the... Oh, no! And then I lost it by bumping the ceiling. Okay, going for the piranha jump. Oh, I got it! Okay. Oh, no! Oh, I got the piranha jump, though, so... If I could get that, then I only need 1 damage boost through the boars, and then I think I might be able to get sub 108. That does seem doable. Like, look at how much time I have, even with the sloppy execution on that climb. I've still got a really solid lead. I need to figure out when I should throw that, because I can hit from a lot of places. Oh, no. Okay, well, that's at least even with PB. Okay. Full jump. Light jump. Oh, no! Oh. Like, look at how much I lost having to deal with those boars, and I needed to get that just a little sooner. But it is that boar room, you just have to damage boost. There's no way to get a good time through there that doesn't involve I mean, that's at least 2 hits with Koji, which means now you're routing in Magic Gathering. Uh-oh. I mean, honestly, it's not relevant to ooh, nice. It's not relevant to open the treasure chest when you're waiting for the first 2 moles to come out. Because you'll have time to hit both of them, even if you hit the second one first. Bummer. Okay, well. Oh, nice. I wonder if that provides any speed up. Darn it. Yeah, just, I mean, you lose like 3 to 4 seconds dealing with those boars, and I got a couple decent runs with it, but see, easy. You really do have to hit that blue. It's the blue one that's the linchpin. You got to hit that one as soon as possible. And I sacrificed. Oh. Now, one of the funny things is that it might be faster to damage boost through the Tektite than it is to jump over him and kill the other one. The only issue is consistency. It's you have to sacrifice a lot more than it looks like to get over that, and I'm fairly certain there is no there's no way to get past that without slowing down or getting hit. Okay, so hit him, and then I don't lose any time waiting for the door to open. Dang it. I'm not even sure I've completed a run doing this. That's just, if it shows how time consuming it is. Oh, and then I went upper. How much time, you gotta put into this just to shave off a couple fractions of seconds. That's one of the things I like about it, though. It's it's like Mario, NES Mario runs. You're doing as perfect execution as you can to save See, you can't even, like, get a good Zafara through there to hit them both. You can only really hit them one at a time. Now, admittedly, there may be a something like invulnerability or something that I can get, but I don't think that opening a treasure chest is gonna make up for the fact that you can... I don't think opening a treasure chest is gonna make up for the fact that you can just dodge most of those enemies other than the boars. Like, there's... The value is in precisely how much time you can save by not having to damage boost. And if you're not getting at least maybe 2 or 3, and also avoiding the loss of momentum several times, then it just doesn't balance out. Oh. Well, at least that jump is pretty fun. Going between screens and not having a view of the ground for a while is a lot of fun. Okay, well, at least I made it to the boars. I'll see if I can't lay this down. Oh, man, I actually made that jump so well that I ran into the second one. So the key there, I guess, I gotta shorten that jump by a bit if I want to get through there. Oh. You know what, I'm just gonna hang out here with my friend, Blue Mole, and I'll call it good. Hopefully these... seeing these tricks and watching my process has been helpful, giving you an idea of the kinds of things you should look for when you're aiming to optimize your own... Oh, look at that. Hang on. I'm not done yet. That's, so that's the shoot and then tap A. Oh. That might be faster. If I can pull it off correctly, then that might be... well, that wasn't. But that throwing Koji might be a little bit faster than bopping your head and then landing on that. You know, no, I don't think it is. The preserving your momentum going up there is really annoying. Well, okay, for real though. That's gonna be all for this. And if there's anything I've missed, or you find something else that's helpful in optimizing your momentum throughout each of these interesting challenges, then let me know, because I'm always interested in seeing if some of these things work a little better. And I've got nothing better to do. So thanks for watching.